So, what if you could unlock a totally new future just by unlocking your voice? Today, we're going to dive into a story that honestly feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's all about breaking down those invisible barriers and how one really bold choice can completely rewrite a person's entire life, all through the power of language. Okay, let's just start with this idea right here. Think about it. What if fluency isn't really about memorizing endless rules from some dusty old book? What if it's more about unleashing a power that's already inside you, just, waiting for the right key to turn? That's the exact journey we're about to go on.
All right, so it's time to meet our hero. Her name is Linguistica. Picture this. She's a young, super ambitious professional living in a big, bustling city. But she's held back by this invisible barrier, a barrier that was slamming doors shut that she desperately wanted to walk through.
So, Linguistica's problem, it wasn't that she was failing. Not at all. It was that she was just settling. Her English was described as functional but limited. She could get by, she could manage, but she craved so much more. You can almost feel that frustration, can't you? Her voice just felt muted, and it was cutting her off from this whole world of opportunity she knew she belonged in. And really, that feeling, that's the engine for this entire story. So she gets to this point where she's just tired of the slow, traditional ways of learning. She'd had enough. She decides to make a change. And listen, this wasn't just some small adjustment. Oh no, this was a radical, high-stakes bet on herself and on a pretty revolutionary new piece of tech. And this is where things get really interesting. Enter KeyTalk. Now, this isn't just another language app you download on your phone. No way. This is a huge shift in how we think about learning. It's a cutting-edge virtual reality system that creates total immersion. It's a whole virtual world designed to force you to learn fast by making English the language of survival, not just something you study. This was exactly the modern, hands-on approach she was looking for. And here's where you really see how committed she was. I mean, she invested everything, 100% of her entire savings. Let that sink in for a second. This wasn't just a financial risk. She was literally betting her whole future on this one shot. Okay, so every hero needs a guide, right? Let's introduce Mr. Mash. He's her KeyTalk advisor. And right from the get-go, he sets the tone. He tells her, look, this is not going to be easy. He uses that word intense, and he means it. He's not just a teacher, he's more like a coach, getting her ready for a seriously high-stakes, all-in kind of journey. So the big question is, how did this thing actually work? What was it like? Well, let's step inside the KeyTalk system ourselves and see exactly how Linguistica's transformation began. It was basically forged in the fire of total virtual immersion. Okay, so her first challenge, it seems almost laughably simple, right? A virtual grocery store run. But think about it. This wasn't about her reciting phrases she memorized from a textbook. No, this was about real-time, sink-or-swim interaction. For the very first time, she wasn't just passively listening. She had to act, she had to react, and she had to actually communicate to get something done. This was a huge, fundamental shift in her learning. And the system did not waste any time. The difficulty ramped up incredibly fast. I mean, 1 minute, she's just trying to buy a pen in a virtual store, and then bam! The next thing she knows, she's thrust into the super high-pressure environment of a corporate boardroom. And this right here is a huge moment. It's a turning point. In a simulation they called the contextual challenge, she has to argue against a policy she knows is flawed. And she says this. This isn't just a sentence. It's her first real use of sophisticated, assertive language. Her voice didn't shake. It was a small victory for sure, but it signaled a massive breakthrough. After that, Mr. Mash tells her she can now contribute to a meaningful discourse. And let's be clear, this isn't just about knowing a few big words to sound smart. It's about earning a seat at the table. It means she's no longer just speaking English, she's using it as a tool for high-level intellectual debate. She has a voice that matters now. So for her next challenge, the system throws a really tough lawyer avatar at her, and this avatar's tone is just pure contempt. He's designed to push her buttons, but instead of getting flustered or emotional, Linguistica counters with cold, hard facts. She uses this precise, analytical language to just completely dismantle his argument piece by piece.
And this is so important. This marks a critical internal shift. You know, it's one thing to practice a skill, to fake it until you make it, but it's something else entirely to truly own it. This was that moment. The moment her confidence stopped being an act, and it became a real, genuine part of who she was. Okay, so she's mastered all the challenges, she's built up this incredible confidence, her whole mindset has transformed. Now, it's time for the final exam. This is where all of her training comes together in one massive, full-scale, real-world simulation. I mean, just look at how complex this is. This isn't your average final exam with some multiple-choice questions. This was designed to test what they called full operational fluency under intense pressure. She had to navigate a city just by asking locals for directions, persuade a tough receptionist to give her an interview, conduct a complex interview with an academic expert, and top it all off, debate global financial policy. All of this, all alone, in a virtual London. And she did it. She absolutely crushed it. She didn't just pass, she mastered it. She achieved level 10, the highest possible rank in the entire Keytalk system, with a score that was practically perfect. Her transformation, it was complete. This right here, this really puts her whole journey into perspective. I mean, on day one, she's nervously trying to ask for a bottle of water, and by the end, she's confidently debating global economic theory. The distance she traveled between those two sentences is just astonishing. It's wild. So, the big question, what was the payoff? What did all this intense work get her? Well, it got her a whole new reality. Her flawless English and that rock-solid confidence, they directly unlocked tangible, life-altering rewards. We're talking admission to a top-tier US university, a generous scholarship to go with it, and most importantly, the power to confidently chase down the dreams she always had. And Mr. Mash leaves her with this one last piece of advice, and it really zooms the camera out from her personal story to this bigger universal truth. He tells her that language is the ultimate tool. Think about that. That huge vocabulary she built up, it wasn't just a list of words to memorize. It became the actual toolkit she would use to build her entire new life. Which, of course, brings us to the final question for you. Linguist's story. It shows us what's possible when someone finally unlocks a voice that was trapped inside them all along. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What could you unleash with an unbound voice?